Over here in the Old Town neighborhood, there's this mosque. This is the Mustafa Pasha Mosque. And this mosque was built all the way back in like the late 1400s. I think construction started in 1492 and continued on into the early 1500s. But the cool thing is, it has largely, I think, been unchanged since it finished construction back in the 1500s. A lot of things around here, like we mentioned, the city, like the city center in Skopje has been changed very recently. The fortress itself that we're in here, the Kale, had renovations and reconstructions recently in the 2000s, but that mosque, ever since back in like the 1500s, has basically been the same. Very cool. All right, I think it's time we head across over there into the Old Town neighborhood. I want to check it out, and I think maybe when we're over there we can get something to eat too, since there are like markets and restaurants and stuff over there. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you want to help out the channel and help it grow, I really would appreciate it. Click on the like button down there, the subscribe button, and the little bell next to it to be notified for when new videos drop. It really helps the channel grow because it's going to help the YouTube algorithm recognize this content and spread it to other YouTube viewers. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, I would appreciate that as well. You can leave a super thanks by clicking this thanks button here and give a small donation to the channel. I appreciate your support. So back to the video. Enjoy. It's actually call to prayer right now at the mosque, at the Mustafa Pasha Mosque. You can hear right behind me. There's the minaret with the speakers. Pretty cool. Here in Old Town, there's this church, the Church of the Ascension of Jesus, in the Old Bazaar neighborhood, the Old Town neighborhood. Actually, you can see just over the top there, that's the minaret from the Mustafa Pasha Mosque. Now, this church has an interesting history. This was thought to be built originally, the church here, in like the 14th century, so like the 1300s. But then that church was destroyed. It was rebuilt again and then destroyed again in a big fire that destroyed pretty much this whole neighborhood in like 1689. And then this church was rebuilt again in the 18th century, in the 1700s. I went down into the church. You're not allowed to take pictures or film down in there, but I did go down. It's very modest. It's like a few steps to get down. It's like half underground, the church. And it was built here, very small church, because it was built, like I said, back, this version of the church built in the 1700s when the Ottoman Empire ruled here. And so the church here during the Ottoman Empire was built small and allowed to be built here, like in the shadow of the Mustafa Pasha Mosque over there. Out here it looks like we have a pomegranate tree. Very cool. This is the Church of the Ascension of Jesus. And it looks like, I think they said a memory room over here, which I think we can go check out. Oh yeah, here we go. This is all in Macedonian. I can't read any of it. This guy looks like he's important though. His face is everywhere. We're gonna have to figure out who this guy is. So this guy was a Macedonian revolutionary named Gotse Delchev, and he was a revolutionary around the turn of the century, around 1900. He fought in an uprising and led a revolutionary group against the Ottomans. He died in a skirmish with Ottoman troops in 1903. So to enter the courtyard there, totally free. You can go in, walk around, To enter the memory room free. To go into the church itself, 120 dinars for visitors, which it's not that much. It's like $2 US. Anyway, we're back out here in the streets of Old Town, and I want to find the actual Old Town Bazaar, which I think is like a market that we can go in, take a look. I always like to go look around like a big market, and especially a market here in like the oldest part of the city. Actually, there's no one real market here in Old Town. This whole area is really the Old Town Bazaar, and it's full, as you will see in the rest of this video, of little shops and restaurants and all kinds of stuff. It's very cool. These are cool streets. Very cool old stone streets. Like I said, the construction here in the Old Town dates all the way back to like 1,000 years ago. Some of the oldest constructions here. Some of the newer constructions, you know, maybe 500 years ago, but still quite old. Here we are. Beautiful, beautiful old neighborhood. Old Town Skopje. Really nice place to walk around on a nice day like today, man. I think, you know, we're here in the late summer, and for the few days that we've been walking around, the few different places that we've gone, it's been relatively hot here. Not as bad as certainly not as bad as it was in Armenia and in Romania where we were, but it's decently warm. Today, however, though, it's actually pretty nice today. Pretty, it's, you know, it's warm, but it's not like hot, which is really nice. Nice time to walk around here, the Old Town neighborhood. You know, what I want to find around here is maybe like a bakery or something. I want to get some burek. Now we've had this, it's like a pastry called burek. I've had it a couple times already. It's basically like it's not just Macedonian. There's like burek, versions of burek, like Turkish burek, and other places, of course, you know, similar types of it. And it's basically like I don't know, it's like a phyllo dough pastry. I don't know, it's hard to explain. We gotta find it. If you're honestly like, if you're like Turkish or Bulgarian, I think, you probably know what burek is because they have your own version of burek. But the burek that we've gotten here in Macedonia so far has been really, really delicious. So maybe we could try and find a place around here where we can get burek. That would be really, really delicious. Man, it's a very cool neighborhood. Yeah, burek shop would be good. I mean, I would imagine in this neighborhood we could probably find some Turkish food too. I mean, the Macedonian food that I've been having in different places has been really delicious. But, you know, like, same with, like when we were in Romania and also Armenia and a lot of the other places, there's a lot of crossover between different cuisines. There's a lot of, like, I'm going to go up this street. There's a lot of, like, Turkish influences in a lot of the foods around here, just because of, like, you know, the amount of time that the Ottoman Turks ruled over, like, certain areas in this part of the world. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's some, like, Turkish food right here. Tasty looking. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. All right, we gotta find some place to get something to eat around here in the Old Town neighborhood. Seen a lot of cafes and restaurants here in Old Town. Also a lot of jewelry stores. I think this whole section, this street at least, is like the jewelry street. Seems to be a jewelry store along, like every one of these stores along here is a jewelry store on this street. It's so cool, these little streets, it gets so lost in here. Just like the way they turn. If you don't know your way around, you're definitely, I feel like, gonna get lost in this part. Luckily though, it's not that big of a neighborhood. If you get a little lost, you just walk around a little bit. Eventually you'll figure out where you are. And hopefully you can walk around a little bit and eventually you'll end up at, like, I don't know, some delicious cafe where you can get like burek or sucuk, or some delicious food or coffee or something. And we're back out here. Oh yeah, that's actually where we started. We went up that way. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over here. See what they have around here. Try and find something delicious. Ooh, there's some delicious looking stuff right here. Should we try this place? Meadow? It's right here. Let's keep walking. Keep walking, and maybe if we don't find any other place, come back here to this joint. This place looks pretty good. Meadow. Well, we did keep walking. We kept walking, and down one of the streets, I was enticed by the smell of grilled meat. Grilled meat will always draw me in. And we found this place. This is Piciela, which is Macedonian for bee, as you can see right here on the logo. This is a delicious barbecue restaurant. That's what drew me in, the smell of the barbecue. We got, for starters, a salad. This is like just a simple traditional salad with onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, a little parsley. Came with some delicious bread. We got ourselves a beer. This is a local beer. It's called Skopje. I always ask for the local beer, and this is what they gave me. And for our main dish, we got this. This is tavče gravče. It is the national dish of Macedonia. It is like baked beans in a clay dish, baked with like onion, paprika, garlic, really delicious, and topped with this grilled sausage that was so good. Very, very, very good. Delicious, very, very tasty. That place, not sure exactly how to pronounce it. Piciela? Piciela? It's right here. It's like a barbecue place. It means bee in Macedonian. It was very delicious. I am still just a little bit hungry, and we haven't found any burek. But when I came out here onto the street, just outside the restaurant, I did see right here there is a sign with an arrow that says Burektore etmas, and I'm guessing, I don't know exactly what it means, but I think Burektore probably means like burek shop. And here it is right here, Burektor etmas. So I think we'll get some burek, maybe just like a little piece of burek, and we'll try that. And I also want to go over like down, I don't know, like down this way, I think, and then to the right. If you go down this little street, there apparently is like a Turkish sweet shop over there that has like desserts and stuff. And I think that'll be where we go after we get our burek. So let's check out this burek place. Burektor etmas. So it was indeed a burek shop, and we got a little slice of a meat burek. Now, like, you can see the phyllo dough here, and the Macedonian style burek is actually, the entire thing is like a big round thing like this, cooked in a big round pan, and they cut slices of it. So you can see that in the way the phyllo is sort of like layered like this. And you can see from here inside the delicious meat inside. It's really good. Burek is like a flaky, kind of salty, greasy, delicious thing. Delicious burek. Vkusno burek. Okusno. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's Macedonian for delicious. That was very delicious. It's very good burek. Trying to think if I like that burek better than the burek that I've been eating. There's a bakery that's right by the apartment where we've been staying, and the burek they have there is delicious. Honestly, I think the place by the apartment might have the edge. Anyway, in our last video, of course, here from Skopje, we'll do a little tour of the neighborhood where we've been staying, and I'll show you guys that bakery, because man, they have some delicious burek there. Now burek, that one that we got was meat, miesa, I think is how it's said in Macedonian. And there's different kinds. There's like a cheese burek, there's a burek that has like spinach and cheese, and then there's the meat burek, and it's delicious. Something, of course, that is like you get across the Balkans, and like in Turkish food as well. So it's like a pretty common food all around the Balkans, all around this area. Anyway, we're here in this little, I don't know, this little square at the end of Old Town. There's a little like waterfall fountain over here with a mural and a cool statue of a dude on a horse. And it's cool coming here to Old Town. Honestly, like I said, after seeing all of the stuff that we saw in like Macedonia Square and all the central part of Skopje, across the river here actually, it's basically like the central part of Skopje is right across the river. And after seeing all of that stuff that they made, I don't know how to explain it, like they made it look like old, but it's brand new. Like that sort of classical, I don't know, it's almost like it didn't even have a style. It's just its own kind of like neo-classical thing. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but after seeing that, coming here to Old Town, to like the actual old part of the city, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool here in the shadow of the fortress over there, the Kale. Right there is the viewpoint where we were standing, right up there on top of the old fortress. Anyway, whew, I am starting to get full, man. We had a delicious sausage with beans. That salad came with bread, and then we had that burek. I'm starting to get full, but man, gotta power through. You want to know why? Because right down at the end of this street here, there is a sweet shop. I think it's Turkish. It's called Regina, I think. I don't know. I saw it on Google Maps. It had excellent reviews, and it seems like it's super, super popular. And it looks like they have a lot of like delicious sweet things. So I think a good way to finish off our visit and our little tour here through Old Town Skopje would be to go there and get something sweet, a little dessert. As you can see though, there are plenty of like restaurants all throughout here, little cafes and all kinds of stuff. Like if you come here, for sure you're going to be able to find something to eat, something delicious to eat. The one thing that I want to try at this sweet shop is, it's called trilese or trileche, and I think it's like a tres leches cake. You know, like the tres leches that you would find in like Latin America. Of course we did, you know, we're traveling for so long in Latin America. Definitely tres leches, something that we've tried before out there. And of course, there's all kinds of like different influences when it comes to like food all around the world, you know? And because different civilizations and different empires conquering other empires, and the food bleeds over from here, from Europe, and then that gets taken over to the Americas, and the conquest of the Americas, and you know, 1,000 years later or whatever, there's just, you know, you can get a tres leches in somewhere in Latin America, and you can get a trileche over here in like the Old Town in Skopje, North Macedonia. It's pretty cool. While that is true that empires do bring their foods with and influence other places, that's not exactly what happened in this case. In this case, this trileche, there are a couple theories on exactly how it ended up here. One theory is that Mexican soap operas apparently are popular in Albania, and there are a lot of ethnic Albanians that live here in Macedonia, and I guess the Albanian chefs made their own version of tres leches. There's another theory that there was an Italian chef in Tirana in Albania, and that chef visited the Dominican Republic and found the recipe there and brought it back. Either way, it looks very delicious, and we're going to try some. It was actually quite delicious. It was different from the tres leches cake that we've tried in like Latin America. I'm not sure exactly how to describe the difference, but it was different. It was still very, very good. And this place, the sweet shop, it's not called Regina, it's called Rigara. And they had some other stuff here too, like in the windows. We didn't try any of this, but a lot of these delicious looking pastries and cookies and lots of just tasty looking sweets, along with the big pan full of tres leche. Well, that was delicious. Tres leche. Tres leche, very delicious. Very cool. Very cool part of Old Town. We're actually right at the edge here of the Old Town neighborhood, coming out into, like, back into the Skopje 2014 part of the city. I will say it is a bit of a jarring transition to go from Old Town into like the giant Skopje 2014, like very over the top facades of these buildings with all the statues. You can see here across the river, I think this is the stone bridge over there, and across the stone bridge all the way over into Macedonia Square, where the statue of the warrior on the horse, the Alexander the Great statue is. Yeah, it is a bit of a transition to walk out of Old Town and into the central Skopje here, the Skopje 2014 area. But still, it's a cool place to walk around Old Town, especially on a day like today, like a very, very nice day. I mean, as you can see, very sunny, not a cloud in the sky, but also not like too hot today. I feel like Skopje would be a wonderful place to come, like in the spring or in the fall when the weather is really pleasant. Yeah, definitely very nice. A very cool experience going through Old Town and eating all of that delicious food. But I think from here at the stone bridge heading back into central Skopje, I think that's what we're going to call it. I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. Any video where I get to walk around like a old town part of the city and get to eat a lot of food and drink a beer, that's a good video for me. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And from here in Skopje, I'll see you in the next one.